The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users, on demand on iTunes and on YouTube, and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are encouraged to post your comments whether you agree with yours truly or not. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio. We're syndicated across the United States into 12 million additional households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Welcome to the show. Today I am in the home, very graciously inviting me in, of Harvey Wasserman, who is sitting to my right, your left. Harvey is the editor, the senior editor of freepress.org. He is the author of a number of books about election fraud and irregularity, including As Goes Ohio, Election Theft Since 2004. And as you all know, it all came down to the wire right here in Ohio. And there was some questions about the way the vote was counted. John Kerry, regardless of those questions, conceded, and there was never a federal investigation, and George W. Bush was reelected President of the United States. We just want to make sure this doesn't happen again in 2008, and that we all go home on the 4th assured that when we wake up on the 5th that the headlines are accurate in the newspaper about who the next President of the United States is. Harvey Wasserman, welcome to News Talk Online.
Great to be here.
It's great to be here in your humble abode in Columbus, Ohio.
You.
I got to tell you guys, I got here a little early, and as many of you know, I'm a huge, even though this is a horrific losing season, Michigan Wolverines fan. But I drove into the jaws of the beast. I went down to the stadium. I took pictures of the big O. Yeah. So I was really there. So.
And you live to tell.
And I'm here to tell about
That's
it.
Right.
You know? But I could talk to you about that because you went to U of L.
I did indeed. I went to the University of Michigan. I graduated in 1967. And but I was from Columbus. I graduated high school in '63, so it was great to get out of here and go there. Although Columbus has improved quite a bit, it's a much more interesting and lively town than it was back in.
It's a very nice town. I like it a lot. So tell me what happened in 2004 here in Ohio.
Well, the Republicans basically used Ohio as a test case for as many different methods of stealing an election as they could test out, frankly. We, by my co-author Bob Fitrakis and I, saw it coming, actually. We wrote an article 1 week prior to the election, October 27th, 2004, called 12 Ways Bush is Already Stealing the Ohio Vote. And we laid out these things that were happening in terms of preventing people from voting, making it difficult for African Americans to get registered, a whole range of rigging electronic voting machines, a whole range of dirty tricks right out of the Richard Nixon playbook, basically. And we saw it coming. We published this book. Our website, freepress.org, went from about 3,000 hits a day to over 50. And for the next 2, 3, 4 months, Bob and I wrote pieces pretty much every other night, long, detailed pieces about how the vote had been stolen and what was done. And
was 2004 the year of the rain? Or was that 2000?
Yes, it rained.
2004 was the year of the rain where people were waiting 7.5 hours in line to vote.
Right. Well, in this precinct is mostly white. You could vote right over here at Capital University in about 10, 15 minutes at the most.
Right, but in the black community...
In Driving Park, which is across the tracks, literally, and about a mile from here.
Right.
Just a mile. It took 7 hours.
I heard that they had 1 voting machine or 2 voting machines for the entire precinct.
Yeah, and, sometimes they would break, and there were no paper ballots, and so people just stood in the rain. And then their votes weren't counted.
Another fine... Ohio resident, the lady who runs blackbox.org, the lady who runs blackbox.org, she's in Cleveland.
Bev Harris.
Bev Harris, I've had her on the show.
Yeah.
They went out and showed that on the Diebold voting machines that they had this executionable buried program that somebody could go in and change the votes. Well, they changed it before they even took place.
Well, many people, and this is now happening again, many people in Youngstown and Columbus testified after the election that on electronic voting machines they would push John Kerry and George Bush would light up. Now we're already seeing that people are pushing Barack Obama and John McCain is lighting up.
Yeah, that happened in West Virginia.
Right.
So people who voted early, touch screen voting machines, they punched for Barack Obama, and the check mark went for John Kerry. You know, John McCain.
John McCain, that's right.
Yeah.
We call it push and pray. So we are advocating 100% paper ballots. We believe that that's the way to vote.
They tried to do that here in Ohio.
Well, they've tried. The Secretary of State, Jennifer Brunner, wants to have paper ballots available for everybody, and the Republicans refuse to fund it. The Republicans control the state legislature here, and they will not allow access to everyone.
The previous Secretary of State's name is J. Kenneth Blackwell. You and he know one another pretty well. You are a plaintiff in a lawsuit that names him as defendant.
Although he's no longer the defendant, because we actually sued him when he was Secretary of State, and now the lawsuit carried over to the new Secretary of State.
But he is the alleged perpetrator, the one that was, maybe I shouldn't use the term perpetrator, maybe that's a bit strong.
Maybe we shouldn't use the word alleged.
But he's the guy who was responsible. So now let me get this right. This guy, Michael Connell, Connell.
Right.
In 2000, he was the one who ran the website that was known as the Bush-Cheney 2000 website.
That's correct.
In 2004, the then Secretary of State in Ohio, J. Kenneth Blackwell, hired Michael Connell to help tabulate the vote in 2000.